Hello YouTube, Ranger of Oz back once again, and I have a bit of confession to make. I've been choosing some really shoddy toys lately. I mean, okay, the Thundercats guys weren't bad, they were just disappointing. Bow your head in shame. And Vanguard's Fighters was just, well, yeah. And I'm honestly not sure if this is a continuation of the trend or not. This is Autobot Camshaft from the 2007 Transformers movie line. He's not one of the actual characters you see on screen, which means, thanks to internet personality Evangelist, he's kind of weird. A lot weird, actually. Vehicle mode is sort of okay. I mean, the paint and the colors are nice. I mean, this nice black finish at the front. This really tiny Autobot symbol at the front here, which is... I wouldn't have minded something a little bigger. Obviously, it's supposed to be the badge for the company that produced it, but it's just, I mean, you can barely see it if you're looking at it from this angle. It's just really tiny. You get this lovely silver paint job and these blue decals that are just brilliant. However, in regards to the actual transformation itself, panel lines are so very obvious. You can see them around the car door, you can see them in the front here, you can so see them in the back. This is just ridiculous. You can see them all around there, and I mean, this entire back is the fault of one thing. Gimmick. It has this cannon coming out the back, and everything encloses around it. So what that leaves you with is all these panel lines, and he's slightly off center too. That might just be I might have just got the transformation wrong. This thing has a very finicky transformation, especially from a robot to car mode. And you can see that if I turn him over here. Yes, as you can see, he's very hollow. You can sort of see that through the front windscreen. If I can get in there. You can kind of see it through here. You can see straight down to the desk that I'm using. But yeah, turning it over, you can just see robot kibble. And you can see this cannon I was talking about here. And you can see that it doesn't actually disconnect. It's on a hinge, and that swings up, and that's actually a part of its robot mode, which I don't like. It looks stupid. It looks ridiculous. So without any further ado, let's get to the actual transformation, shall we? Now, before I get on to the transformation, I just want to show you what happens when you don't get the positioning exactly right going from robot to car mode. Things start getting a little stuck in here, and it just doesn't want to fit in properly sometimes. It's a little annoying. I can understand with those sort of things you have to be able to pack everything nice and compactly, but you have this massive hollow section here. You could have made that, made these movable, made it a little bit easier to get the arms in, and it would have been, fine. But instead, you have to get everything perfect to get this arm in, otherwise it ain't going to work, and you're going to be left with something that looks like a mongulated reject from Mad Max. So you start your transformation by opening the doors and swinging the arms out. And it's, like I said, this thing, like everything underneath it is robot kibble, and it doesn't have any weight to it at all. It's all that same sort of regular silvery plastic. You can get a very good look at it here. And it's just kind of, yeah. Legs come out here, unfold, and thankfully, like, this seems to be a thing that comes up in other reviews of Transformers I've seen. Thankfully, he has a heel, and it's fairly stable, so he can stand up. I'll show you that in a minute. But, let's get to the part of this thing I don't like. Once I just sort of swung him up there a little bit. This cannon that I've mentioned several times in this review, it swings up like this and takes its part as the chest. That's your torso area. It's kind of silly. Your automorph on your head reveal is kind of nice. You just sort of pull this back and it flips over. You do then have to move it forward a bit so you can swing the roof back up to hold it straight. And then of course this cannon has to go into position under there. After that, it's just a case of swinging the legs around and collapsing those back windscreen sections, and voila, there is Autobot Camshaft. And like I said, this guy's robot mode is weird. I mean, of course you have that cannon in the center that I mentioned, which just sort of, you can't look away from. It's really, really bad, and sometimes he's hard to get his legs straight, as you can see. Also, you have the kibble wings, which don't clip in, don't sit anywhere in particular. They're just hanging out there. And yeah, I don't know about this robot mode. Parts of it I like, parts of it I'm kind of meh about. The Autobot symbol is still at the front here, but again, it's too small. Far too small. I would have liked it if it was a little bit bigger, but I suppose they haven't really made much of an effort to make them obvious with this line. I mean, with the G1 and just about everything else, the symbols are very obviously painted, loud, large, proud. These ones, they're just kind of very tiny. The head is basically just a camera. I think this is supposed to be one of the Autobot drones from the Transformers movie video game, which is why this thing just has no face. It's a camera. It does, however, have light piping. Nice. It is very, very nice light piping. It's blue, it's shiny, it's epic. So, yeah, that is Autobot Camshaft. It is nicer than some of the other toys I've reviewed. Vanguard Fighters. Pair. But, I don't know, it's just too gangly. Transformation can be a bit difficult from robot to car mode. That damn cannon is just large and annoying, and there's just too many obvious panel lines in the car mode. So yeah, Autobot Camshaft. It's meh. I don't know if I like it or not. I tried to. I really did, but it's just too much weirdness for my poor little brain. Anyway, that is Autobot Camshaft. I am Ranger of Oz. A quick shout out to Keegan and Nora, who I met last night whilst playing Knights of the Old Republic, and I will see you all next week.